Hello, we are ready to start another week with lesson 7. And if you'll see here, just in the lesson overview, it's on information literacy and academic resources. Doesn't always sound like the most exciting topic, but I hope you'll find that it's very informative and you learn a lot this week. So give it a chance. The outcomes that we'll accomplish this week are to effectively find and use information. So you'll learn techniques to help your searches go better. This will be helpful in future classes when you have to do research. I learned even a lot that I wish I would have had when I did my master's program. So I think you'll really like it. Discover BRU Idaho academic learning resources. See what they have available for you to also use if you needed to do research. The last one is to learn and apply the guessing meaning from context study skills. So the skill of not knowing what a word means and looking at the context, the words around that sentence, within that sentence to help you understand that word. So I'm just trying to think. I'm going to show you the application activity for this week. What you're going to do is go to this link right here. You'll click there, and then in the search box, type, like it says up here, type a topic that has been discussed in an earlier lesson. And that's something that some students miss. They search for diets or exercise or something like astronomy, something different than what we've learned in class. And so what we're asking is to choose a topic that has already been discussed so far in our class. Search for it on this link. After you've clicked there, you go to the search box and type that. And select, you'll have a list of results, a list of articles. Pick one to read. In your own words, you're going to write a summary. You're going to shorten just what that article was about. And make sure you include these things: the title, author's name and the purpose, why they chose to write it, what their conclusion was. Remember that here's one thing not to include your opinion. So don't say the author said this, but I disagree, or I agree with why the author stated that. I've seen it happen before. We don't need to have your opinion in this paper, in the summary. This note is very important, and I'll be watching that when I grade to make sure it's in your own words, that you're not copying directly the article and the sentences. Put what they said into your own words so you're not plagiarizing. Plagiarism is when you just directly copy and then take the credit for that work. So we're asking that you put it in your own words. So that's the application activity. And the only other thing I wanted to give feedback on before I do a little English tip is with your listening and speaking logs. Once again, to remember that you not only tell me what you did, so I'm going to hide myself for a second. I need to move this just a little bit. Is you need to pick 5 different things. I would recommend different activities than you. It's in your best interest to get the most out of it by doing different things. If you're always just watching a movie, you're missing out on learning different things. So pick that, and then don't forget to include, it tells you, write the number of the activity and what you did. So maybe you say, I did number 1, and the activity that I did at esl-lab.com was, and so tell us about it. And then explain what you learned. This is getting left off on some of your assignments. So those are the 2 things. Write the number and what you did. So a brief description of what you did and then what you learned. The last thing I want to show you is my little English tip. So I'm going to come into talking to you about the difference between adjectives and adverbs. And I'll tell you why this is important. So I'm going to put my camera back on. Let's see. So an adjective is explaining the noun. So if you'll see here, it can explain what, which kind, how many, describe what it smells like, what it feels like, what it looks like. The dog is black. Black is the adjective. The milk smells rotten. Rotten is the adjective. Sometimes if someone says, I have a green and brown car. Green and brown are adjectives describing the noun, which is the car, the thing. So I'm going to give you an example of a sentence. Here we have the word diligent. That is an adjective because the worker is our noun, our who, what, where, or why. No, our who or our what, because that's what nouns are. So that person, place, or thing, for this one, it's our worker, is our noun. So we say, Kate, what do we know about the noun? What is it explaining? Well, we know that she is diligent, and so the adjective explains that noun. So diligent is our adjective. And sometimes I noticed in some of our sentences, when we had diligent as a vocabulary word, we used it incorrectly because we were not quite clear on the difference between an adjective and an adverb. Well, look here, an adverb, one way to remember really is it answers how something's being done. It was a terribly hot afternoon, and lots of times it has the ly at the end. The woman is extremely nice. So one thing I wanted to show you, let me put my other thing. Okay, I'm going to hide for just a second so this isn't in the way. She works diligently. Okay, how does she work? She works diligently. So that's an adverb because it's describing the how. So remember, that's the how a noun is being done. And this might be really confusing, and I hope it, if you come across one where you're not quite sure how to use a word in a sentence, email me and ask me. And so if you'll see here, I wouldn't say she works diligent, because that is incorrect. You could say she is a diligent worker, but she works diligently. We add that "ly," and that's how adverbs are written. So I hope that's a little helpful. There's our other lesson on there. And other than that, I think that's everything. And I hope this was helpful. I hope that this week, as you look at how to make sure that sources are valid and reliable, and that we can trust them, that we can use them for research, and that you'll learn the different tips and techniques for when you do a Google search or looking for an article, how to find exactly what you're looking for. There are millions of things out there, and so trying to narrow it down to what will help you the most in your search is helpful, and so that's why these techniques are useful. I hope you have a wonderful week. I can hardly believe we're already on lesson 7, so way to go for making it this far. I am proud of you, and I hope you're all proud of yourself and how far you've come. I know that there's a lot to manage with this course, and it's not easy. I know that, like we had time management last week, that managing our time is necessary, and being disciplined and prioritizing with our courses and the time that it takes. So I appreciate you, and I know that if you're struggling, that your Heavenly Father is aware of you, and I know that if you'll pray to have comfort and support and love, that you'll fill of His love. And I know that through Him we can do many great things. So have a great week, and let me know if you need anything. Thanks, you guys. Bye.